Alright, what's going on YouTube? It's Trev back again here for LegendsUniverse.net, and it's time. It is time. The Marvel Select Juggernaut was released today, January 26, 2011, and this guy is massive, man. So let's take a look at the packaging right here. This guy is heavy as hell. I bought 3 of these guys, and to carry them in my house, literally my shoulder started getting sore from them. That's how freaking heavy these guys are. So let's just take a quick look at this guy in the packaging. Looks great. You know, humongous figure. I love the packaging on this guy. The color's different. I said on one of my previous reviews that I hate how they always use red. Well, now they use this bronze color on the Juggernaut, and it just looks great. The bronze color in the background and everything. The picture down here looks fantastic. Looks very nice for the Juggernaut. And of course, the side art here. I'm going to move it up so you can see. You've got this kind of artistic picture of the Juggernaut. That might be new art. I don't recall seeing that. Maybe it's from Thunderbolts or something. I haven't seen that art for a while. And very nice side panel of Juggy there. And let's flip it over to the back. So, of course, we have the Juggernaut here. There's the prototype image there. The info. I'm not gonna read that for you. I don't think anybody's interested in that anyway. There is an unmasked variant for him, and I will grab that right now so you can see the unmasked variant version of him. Here he is right here. Let's get a good look at that head sculpt. That's amazing, man. That might be even better than the Marvel Legends head sculpt. Very nice. Now, of course, it is kind of a jip. You know, you gotta get 2 figures to get one with the helmet on, one with the helmet off, which kind of sucks. But from a business standpoint, you know, they know that they're going to make more money off of doing that, and they're going to do it. So anyway, let's get these guys out of the package and let's take a closer look, guys. Okay, so before we get into the figure itself, I just wanted to show here the actual base that he comes with, which is sort of like this ruined cityscape scene on one side. This is a similar one that we got to the Thing. And on the other side, he's got kind of like this explosion here. I'm not sure where that's from or if that's unique art. I do read the comics, but I don't get a chance to, you know, to get every comic, so I do miss some of them. Anyway, this base is, you know, it's pretty useless, to be honest. I'm just going to put that in the background there. It's not really good for anything. Alright. Damn it, why didn't Diamond Select give me waist articulation? I can't even punch anybody! Ah! Oh my freaking god, dude. This guy is sick, man. He is just sick. The sculpt on him is amazing. Alright, so let's get right down into it first before I geek out here. So, the sculpt on him, as you can see, is just unreal. He weighs a ton. He's really, really heavy, and he's really nice as far as the sculpt goes. I'm going to try to zoom in as best I can for you on the face. Let's get a good look at that helmet there, and, you know, really get in there and have a good look. So, yeah, as you can see here, the grin on his face, that kind of menacing grin, really evil looking and just awesome. The color on his helmet looks great. The bolts here look awesome. Great detail on the helmet. Let's take a look at the back. So the back is very well done, very big, very bulky. Good paint all over, that's for sure. Very good paint, very nice looking. Bands look good. Very, very nice, man. The sculpt on the arms is great. Let's take a look at the pecs here. Pecs look awesome. And the boots, the sculpt on the boots is very well done. Very, very nice. The hands look great. Really, really good. Everything there just looks... So this is a sick looking figure. There's no denying that this figure is awesome looking. Looks just like Kane Marco, looks just like the Juggernaut. He looks great overall. Now, as far as the articulation goes, this is, kind of the part that Marvel Select usually lacks. We all know that. There's no surprise to that. And this guy, he does lack in articulation a lot. And I'm going to go through it right now for you. So, the helmet can move like this. It kind of turns side to side, and it is not removable at all. So it can rotate though. So he can look, this way or that way. No up and down movement whatsoever. The shoulder joints can move on a huge ball, which can go out like that, which is pretty good. You can see here the joint is humongous on him. Swivel at the upper bicep, which is really good. Elbow single joint, but it's pretty big, and you can get a good range of motion. You can get it, flat out, and you can get it up there like that. Now here's the part that I was really surprised about. There is no wrist articulation. So his hands, he can't flex really. He can't turn his hands in this way. He can't do a lot of poses as far as that goes. All he can do is really just keep his fist out like that. So that's really a downer for a lot of guys who are going to be doing, articulated comic book art and stuff like that. They're probably going to want to stick with the other Juggernaut because you can't move his hand at all. His hand is in that, that same position. That being said, there's no waist joint. Okay, the upper part here can move, but it's hindered because the size of this. So really, you can't move him side to side at all. That's how he stays, and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, there's absolutely no movement there. Here, he does, but again, the thighs are so big that it's hindered. He can't really move. I guess if you can work it, yeah, you can work it out, get it out kind of like that. So you can get his legs out, pretty good, some pretty good poses if you want to have them charged and stuff. So that's not too bad as far as this joint goes. So the legs are pretty good. The knees have a pretty good range of motion. They can go straight out, and they can go back like that. The feet, now this is a good point of articulation, and it's very different from any Select I've ever seen. The foot, it does have a big swivel, and it can go, as you see the joint right there inside, it can go up and it can go back. But actually, because it's so big, it doesn't really, the pivot doesn't really work too well. There you go, there's a pivot there. But on the other side, it doesn't seem to go that well. So as far as articulation goes, and it can move this way out. The feet can move out and in that way. So a very different kind of joint. I don't know what you want to call that. A pivot and sort of, turn there. And that's pretty much it. That's all the articulation this guy has. So he really lacks in articulation. He's not as good as the Hulk, the Marvel Select Hulk, in terms of articulation. The Thing I never opened. Now somebody brought up to me that this guy is smaller than the Hulk. So let's take a look and compare the two of them and see, back to back, which one's bigger and that kind of stuff. So he is smaller than the Hulk, and by quite a bit too. I thought it was the same body mold, but if you look here at the shoulder, it's not. This shoulder part and this bulk here comes up on the back higher. It's not the same body mold as the Hulk. The Hulks are bigger. Red Hulk, Green Hulk are going to be bigger than Juggy, which, in my opinion, that's a goof. They should be, the same height. You see that? Yeah, that's definitely a goof. They should definitely be the same height, in my opinion. Juggernaut and the Hulk should be just as big as one another. I don't know why they went that route and they didn't make him the same size. So there's the Hulk from the Marvel Select line. This guy, though, his height, I think, fits better with the Marvel Legends than the Hulk does, because Hulk is a little bit taller than him, maybe an inch or half an inch. This guy is half an inch shorter, so if you guys have the Hulk and you're collecting Legends, you'll know that this guy is pretty much just shorter than him, so he's a good size for your Legends figures. Okay, so let's take a look at the Marvel Legends in comparison to him. So, in terms of look and sculpt, certainly the new one is bigger, but the articulation on the new one is really lacking. The arms, I'll point out too, on the Marvel Legends are actually longer than the Marvel Select Juggernaut. Of course, the articulation is way better on the Marvel Select, or sorry, on the Marvel Legends. There's just no comparison as far as that goes. In terms of the sculpt, the Marvel Legends one looks more cartoony, and the Marvel Select version looks, more realistic, kind of, and that kind of stuff. And more glossy. He's got more of a glossy look to him, more of a shine than the Marvel Legends version does. So I'd have to say that, while the Marvel Select is a sick figure, the Marvel Legends one is still the definitive Juggernaut to me. Now, you can remove the helmet on the Marvel Legends Juggernaut, and the head sculpt does look really nice, which is really good because you don't have to buy two figures to be able to do this. You can just do it. It's part of it, So in terms of articulation, yeah, I mean, you got to go with this guy. This guy's way better in terms of articulation. For size, I think he's got a better size because he's not that much taller. I thought he'd be bigger, but he's not that much taller than the Marvel Legends version. And because of that, I think that he's probably a better height, and he looks good. Like, he's probably good for team displays and things like that, whereas this Marvel Legends Juggernaut is going to be better for articulated comic book art. There's no doubt about that. They both look really, really nice, but this guy and the added articulation, the helmet being able to, removable, is, in my opinion, definitely the better figure. So let's compare the helmetless version to the Marvel Legends with the helmet off and see which Kane Marco looks better. The Marvel Legends version has a weird color to it. He's got a sort of like a brownish, but it's almost got some red in there. It's like a light brown color. Whereas this guy, if you look, I'm going to put the faces just like that, and we'll get really close. This guy, it's totally brown. Completely brown. Now, they both have almost the exact same expression. One of their guys, I think it was Dayland 757, he said that it must be built off this one, or modeled off this one. And I think he's right, because if you look at the expression on the Marvel Legends Juggernaut, he looks very similar to that one. Which one's better in terms of look? I gotta go with the Select for sure. The veins on the neck look better. The hair is sculpted, better. But this one kind of looks more like Kane Marco from the comic book. I don't know. It's up to you guys. Whichever one you think looks better. I think it's pretty close, but I'd say that the Marvel Select has a better head sculpt. However, is it worth $25 to $30 to get a one more head sculpt from him? I don't know. That's up to you to decide. I mean, I'd say that definitely, as far as the value goes, the Marvel Legends Juggernaut is still the best Juggernaut. Whereas I don't, share that opinion when it comes to the Select. I think the Marvel Select Hulk is better than the Marvel Legends Hulk, and the Marvel Select Magneto is better than the Marvel Legends Magneto. In this instance, I don't agree. I think that definitely the Marvel Legends Juggernaut is the best Juggernaut to have. Alright, let's do some pictures with some X-Men and the new Juggernaut out of box. Alright guys, so here's the size comparison between him and the Marvel Legends. So I think that he fits in scale with the Marvel Legends really, really well. That's for sure. And he looks really, really nice. But the fact that he doesn't have a waist joint and the torso joint barely moves, like almost not at all. Can't rotate his hands, makes it so that you can't really get him in many good poses. He's really only good to have in a team display and maybe have in the back. You can't, you can barely do anything with this figure. He's more of a statue almost, really, with arm and leg articulation, really. There's almost nothing you can do with this guy. So, unfortunately, I'm a little disappointed in this figure. I'd hate to be a downer. But definitely, if he would have had waist articulation, I mean, it's something so simple. Make it cut at the waist, make it move, make the wrists move, and you've got a way better figure than the Marvel Legends version. Take away that little bit of articulation, man, and this is a much inferior figure to the Marvel Legends version, just because you can't really do much with him. You really can't. Like, you want to get him to sock an X-Man. Unless you want to have his arms straight, so a very nice looking figure, but not a figure you can really, get much play value out of and much display value out of. Really, just have him standing there, and you can't even have him turning and throwing a punch, really. So that really sucks. So as far as the rating for this guy goes, I have to take points off for that. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 because this is the nicest looking Juggernaut we've ever got. But as far as scenes and displays and doing things like that with him, you can't. You know, he's really very statuesque in that sense. Whereas this figure can turn and whack some X-Men, you know, he can't. It's just ridiculous. Alright guys, that's it for now. See you later. Peace.
Hey, look what I can do. Look what I can do. Huh? You like that? Huh? 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 You like that?